guys, welcome back to Hannah's Life, and today I'm going to be doing a devotional. I'm going to go through books of the Bible, and today I'm going to be starting with Proverbs. So let's get started. Let me find it. It shouldn't be too hard. I'm pretty good at finding Psalms and Proverbs in the Bible, so. Okay, there's Psalms. Here's Proverbs. I don't have a bookmark in this Bible, so yeah. Trying to find Psalms 1. Let me pause the camera for you. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to read it, and then we're going to go and talk about it. Chapter 1. I'm sorry, guys. There's a stink bug on my arm. There's stink bugs everywhere where I'm at right now. Like where I live. So yeah, there was one on my arm, and I got freaked out because I don't like bugs. Okay. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, I'm pretty sure that's what it says, to give subtly. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time reading some of these words. To the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain to wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instructions of your father, and forsake not the law of your mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto your head, and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, consent you not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those who go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in your lot among us. Let us have one purse. My son, walk not you in the way with them. Refrain your foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. And they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone who is greedy of gain, which takes away the life of the owners thereof. Wisdom cries without. She utters her voice in the streets. She cries in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she utters her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called you and you refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But you have said, Act not all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. When your fear comes as desolation, and your destruction comes as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish comes upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall kill them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkens unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. Okay, so, I'm going to go back, and a few verses that kind of stuck out to me that maybe, I did understand what they were saying, but I could see how it would be easy for someone to not understand them. I'm going to go back, and I have, the Crossfire Study Bible from the, Jimmy Swaggart Ministries, so they have notes after each verse, so I'm going to go back and read some of those on a few of the verses that might be a little bit confusing. So this actually isn't in the notes, but the one that says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So, basically that's, okay, so a lot, like, hold on, I'm trying to think of how to word this. It might seem harsh to say, oh, you're a fool if you don't believe in God. But it's true. I mean, okay, so we always tell people about the love of Christ, which is very important because that's a really, really big thing. Because a lot of people might think that Christians or Christianity are just out to get you and, like, just, like, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it, like, just attack you basically until you give in. That's not what it is. It's about showing Christ's love. But if you don't listen, there are consequences. It's not just, oh, he loves you, nothing's bad gonna happen to you, it's okay. Well, yes, he loves you, and as long as you accept him, you'll be okay, but if you don't, there are consequences, and that has to be accepted. Also, sorry, I'm not looking right at the camera. It's kind of hard because the camera lens piece is like right there, and it's hard for me to look straight at it. So, if I seem like I'm looking everywhere, I'm not. I'm actually looking at the phone, talking. So, sorry. But yeah, and if you, I'm not good at explaining things a whole lot, so that's why it's gonna be a lot easier to use the notes. So, yeah. And also, to an unbeliever, they might not understand the fear of the Lord. There's two kinds of fears. There's fear as in scared, and there's fear as in respect. Like, that would be saying, like, you fear, like, whoever's in charge. Like, it's not like you're scared of them. I mean, some can be a bit scary, but, like, you respect them is what this is meaning. Like, and so basically, if you believe in God, he will give you wisdom. And if you put your trust in him. And if you don't, then you're going to lack a lot of knowledge, because knowledge ultimately comes from God. I'm not saying that people who don't believe in God are just dumb. I'm not saying that, obviously. Because there are smart people, they're confused about things. Like, okay, maybe I'm not that good at explaining stuff, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. And if you have a better explanation, please comment down below, and because that would be helpful. So let me see. Okay, it says, verse 12 says, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those who go down into the pit. the notes that my Bible has here, much better explanation than mine would be, I'm sure. As a result of lacking the wisdom of God, the land is filled with blood. The graves cannot be dug fast enough, and hell opens her mouth without measure. So basically, I mean, we all know what happens when you don't accept Christ. So, yeah. So it says, my son, if sinners entice you, consent you not. My notes, okay, that was verse 10. I kind of went back a little bit. Sorry. This tells us that if parents have not been properly guided by the word, then they may not properly instruct their sons and daughters. Then the enticement of sinners will be successful in its allurement. This, sadly, is the lot of most. So, basically, a lot, people who don't believe in God, oftentimes, I'm not saying every time, because, but it all started, probably with, one of Adam and Eve's kids who decided that they didn't believe in God. So then they didn't teach their kids. Their kids didn't know, so they didn't teach their kids, and so on. Of course, there are people who have been raised in Christian homes that haven't accepted Christ. I mean, I'm not saying that that's all case, but basically what it means is parents need to teach their kids what is right. So, yeah. Okay, so let me find another verse. Okay, this is one that really caught my eye. Is something that could sound a bit confusing to some people. It says, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. This verse does not, okay, here are the notes. This verse does not mean that wisdom will actually deride her rejectors. It is the language of, I'm sorry, I do not know that word. I'm going to put it right here. Right there. There we go. So, hopefully you can figure out what it says. Argument. The rejectors laughed and mocked at wisdom, when therefore calamities came upon them, which wisdom predicted. Their laughter and mocking turned upon themselves, and so wisdom may be justly said to deride their calamity. So, I believe that was the last verse that I found that maybe needed to be explained a little bit. So, basically what it's saying is, I feel like it goes along with the saying, or is it a verse in the Bible, actually? I don't know, but pride comes before the fall. So, basically, if you reject God and don't accept wisdom, and you're prideful in your sinful ways, then bad things are going to happen. And I'm not saying even if you are a Christian, bad things will happen, because they do happen. They happen to everybody because of sin. Sin happened and the world messed up. So, Adam and Eve messed up, but it messed up the world. So, yeah. So that was Proverbs 1, and I'm going to do these videos probably every Sunday. So, also I know I don't have a current film schedule right now. Things are a bit cuckoo, because I find it hard oftentimes to keep with a film schedule, but I'm going to do my best. So, I'm going to do my best to do these every Sunday. Once again, I might not always get done, especially in the coming months. November, December are going to be very busy, and the rest of October too, which there's not a whole lot left in October, but yeah. So things might be all over the place, but I'm going to try to do these every Sunday. So, that was Proverbs 1, and I'll be trying to do Proverbs 2 next Sunday, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything to say, please let me know in the comments. Of course, keep it respectful and, appropriate and all that stuff. But, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Remember that Jesus loves you and you are very special to him. Bye, everyone.